Listen to what the Pennsylvania governor had to say when asked this week about potential loopholes in the unemployment system that actually allow residents to make more money unemployed than when they are working. By the way, the people of Pennsylvania very loudly saying they want to go back to work. Take a look.
A business owner asks, if we have employees that are currently laid off and we call them back to work and they tell us that they don't or won't come back because they're getting paid more with unemployment and the $600 bonus in a week that we're paying them, what can we do? Can their unemployment be revoked?
No. And as a former business owner, if you ever face that kind of situation, there's one really simple thing you can do as a business owner, and that is raise the compensation of your employees.
Well, there was Pennsylvania Governor Tom Wolf the other day in his news conference. Our conversation with State Representative Jim Struzzi, brought to you by Marcus & Mack, a law firm representing injured people. Representative Struzzi has a tele-town hall conference coming up a little bit later this morning, which we were going to be talking with him about. Jim, good morning. Morning, sir.
Good morning, Todd. Thanks for having me on.
It's good to have you on. You heard Governor Tom Wolf saying, you know, if you make more money being laid off than you do by working, then the simple solution is the employer should pay them more money. What's your reaction to a comment such as that?
Well, I think that's really disappointing to hear, the leader of the state make a statement like that. Obviously, we're in a difficult situation here. People are not working. People are not getting unemployment compensation right now. And for someone like the governor to make a statement like that is irresponsible. And it just goes to show that government, rather than dictate what wages should be getting out of the way of business and allowing the market to drive employment. It's just frustrating to me on many levels. We're in a situation like this, and to make a statement like that, which is really overtly political, is irresponsible as well.
All right, so that is our backdrop. Let's get into the real subject of our call today. You are holding a tele-town hall. I can't say it, but I know what I mean. A tele-town hall later this afternoon to discuss COVID-19 topics, yes?
Yes, we are, Todd. Yeah, 4:10 this afternoon, we will do a tele-town hall. For people who have never participated in something like that, basically it's a conference call for as many people who want to join can join in and listen. And this one's going to be a little bit different. I've done these before where I handle all the calls, answer all the questions, and typically it revolves around legislation and things that are happening in Harrisburg. Given the COVID-19 crisis, we felt that it would be more beneficial for people to hear from a panel of community leaders and experts on the COVID-19 issue. And so in addition to myself on the call, which is at 4:10 today, again, we're going to have county commissioners Robin Gorman and Mike Keith. We're going to have representatives from Indiana Regional Medical Center. We're going to have the executive director of the House Agriculture Committee, Kevin Laser from CareerLink. And so what I'm trying to do is provide enough people to give a good perspective of what's happening here in the county, what's happening with Indiana Regional Medical Center, where we are with testing and things like that. And then I can provide the Harrisburg perspective, and then obviously with all the issues that we continue to have with unemployment compensation and things like that, Kevin Laser can provide some background on that as well as myself. So we're trying to give people more of a well-rounded picture of what's happening with the crisis both here in Indiana County and across the Commonwealth.
Seems pretty clear people are going to really be interested in how do we get the economy restarted and open up the state for business. The governor last night outlining his plan, sort of a traffic light plan. He goes red, yellow, green, and for specific regions. And there are stops built in if it doesn't work out. What do you think about what the governor proposed last night?
Well, I'm really happy to hear that construction activities can resume on May 1st. We were pushing for that this week. We passed House Bill 2400 that would have, if the governor had signed it, would have allowed construction activities to resume immediately. It's still a week and a half or so away for construction activities to resume. Really, there's a lot of frustration, Todd, but I don't think construction activities should have been halted to begin with. Obviously, things like that can be done with proper social distancing outside. I'm really happy that the governor is finally starting to move in the direction of reopening the state. And we've been doing our best within the General Assembly to push him to do that. That's why we continue to run these bills. It was unfortunate that he vetoed Senate Bill 613 on Monday, but we continue to push other pieces of legislation, basically to send a message to the governor that, hey, you got to take action on this stuff. We need a plan. We need to move forward. We need to get people back to work. We need to get food back on people's tables, and we need to get people, making some money, keeping our businesses alive. This is draining the life out of our small businesses. So I'm happy to hear that we're moving forward. I would ask that the governor, I don't think we're in the red here right now in Indiana County. I think that we're safely in the yellow phase, and I think we can get things reopened a lot sooner than perhaps areas like Philadelphia or the more urban areas that really have denser populations, have more confirmed positive cases. We really need to do something to help people, and that's what we're trying to do. So I'm happy to see that the governor is finally listening and applying some level of common sense to plan for this crisis.
Does it seem to you as if the legislature is being forced to try to push open a door here that should never have been closed in the first place?
Well, absolutely. I think we understand the health implications of the entire crisis, and everyone is taking it very seriously. But we need to work together, and that up to this point hasn't been happening. And I think that the governor realizes that we're all in this together. Let's work together. So I think our actions as a legislature, as a General Assembly, to move this legislation, we're acting on the voice of our constituents. I can't tell you, Todd, how busy our offices continue to be with people calling, confused, concerned, frustrated. And by pushing the legislation that we're demonstrating to the governor that, hey, this is what the people want. And I think that's the message that's being sent. And it's not just me, and it's not just the Republican caucus. It's bipartisan. There were a number of our colleagues from the other side of the aisle that voted to push this legislation as well. So I think the governor's finally seeing that the legislature is speaking for the people, and the people want to get back to work. The people want to feed their families. They don't want government handouts. And it's unfortunate that the message that they're sending related to unemployment. I really think that politics needs to be removed from this discussion. And I think when the governor makes a statement like that, as we mentioned earlier in this segment, it really sends the wrong message to people. Businesses, the market should drive wages, not the government, and the government should step out of the way of business. And I think this whole COVID crisis, Todd, demonstrates, that government should not be involved in the private sector.
Starting the economy certainly will be one of the topics at this afternoon's tele-town hall. Another one, especially in terms of education and to a certain extent businesses that are now forced to work from home, is broadband, which has been something that has been gradually gaining momentum. Now the push for universal broadband is really on the front burner. People are demanding it. I'm sure you'll get a couple of questions about that as well today.
I certainly hope so. A lot of people don't realize the work that we've been doing behind the scenes. Myself, Senator Pittman, the county commissioners, Byron Stauffer and his team, we've been trying hard to get broadband to the areas in Indiana County where there's no service, no cell service, no internet. And this crisis really highlights that need. And I think, and as I've been saying throughout this, Todd, that you'll see some positives come from this. And I think the expansion of broadband is definitely one of those positives that will come from this crisis. And it really, I think, is that's life essential for the students that are at home right now that can't do their schoolwork properly because they don't have broadband. I mean, that's something that is unacceptable, and we have to fix it, and we have to fix it now. And I really think that, our colleagues from around the state realize that. Maybe, in urban areas they didn't before because it wasn't an issue for them. But clearly, everyone in Pennsylvania and everyone in this country should have access to high-speed internet.
Representative Jim Struzzi on the line with us. He has a tele-town hall happening this afternoon. Jim, can people still get in on that?
Yes, absolutely. The best thing to do, Todd, is to either go to my Facebook page or go to the website. Probably the website, just repstruzzi.com. There's a phone number that you can call in. We will be doing sort of an automatic call to invite people to attend. Again, it's at 4:10 p.m. today. And you can also live stream it on your computer. But all that information is on our website. Real quick, the number, if you do want to call in and you don't have access to a computer or things like that, it's 877-229-8493. That's 877-229-8493. And the access code is 118504.
Okay, those we also have that on our website in our news story
great.
about the tele-town hall today. Only for folks in the 62nd District, or can anybody call?
I think that anybody could call. It's probably open to anyone who wants to call in and listen. You can submit questions. What I'd like to do is give the other panelists an opportunity at the beginning just to give some opening remarks, kind of give us a update on what's happening here locally. I'll fill in some of the blanks from a statewide perspective, and then we'll take questions and hopefully give people the answers that they're looking for. As I said, our offices continue to be bombarded with emails and calls and concerns from people related to unemployment compensation, businesses, testing, and all that kind of stuff. So hopefully we can answer many of those questions today. You and your colleague Chris Dush this week, and Chris was very blunt about saying this is why you can't cut the legislature out of this process. Sort of forced the hand of the administration in getting some folks back to work so that grants could be given to fire companies and emergency services personnel such as Citizens Ambulance Service. That sort of was cut off, sort of nipped in the bud, and work was left undone that really cost folks some money. Yeah, and that's highlights a very significant point in that you can't shut down government when people need government, right? Mm-hmm. All these offices, unemployment, the state fire commissioner, those are the services that people rely on. And I have to give credit to County Commissioner Mike Keefe, who brought that issue to our attention related to the grants for the fire departments. And when Chris and I started asking questions, we learned that the fire commissioner's office was shut down and they weren't administering these grants. And to me, again, that's unacceptable when these fire companies, and everybody knows our local fire departments, they need money. They need to raise money, and they can't do that if we can't have gatherings, gun bashes and cash bashes and things like that. So they have zero income coming in right now, and they needed the help. So we were really happy to push those buttons and get the fire commissioner's office reopened and hopefully get these grants sent out to them ASAP. There's a number of departments in Indiana County that need those grants, and they need them now. All right, so we know you have the tele-town hall happening today. We know you also had town hall meetings scheduled all spring at various locations throughout Indiana County that probably, almost certainly won't be happening. So are there other events planned? All of those events, Todd, will be rescheduled. All the town hall meetings, the concealed carry events, and everything that we had planned, they're not canceled. They're put on hold until we can safely, gather in large groups to conduct these sessions. But, yeah, I want people to know that we're going to still continue to do those, at just be at a later date. All right. Very good. 4:10 this afternoon, correct? That is correct, Todd. And folks can visit, repstruzzi.com? Yes. repstruzzi.com to get the information to get yourself into the meeting. Our news story has the numbers as well. Representative Struzzi, thanks again for joining us. Absolutely, Todd. Thanks again. I'm happy to be on anytime. All right. Have a great day. You too. Thanks. It is the voice of Indiana County, WCCS, AM 1160 and 101.1 FM, to 101.1 FM, to 101.